Hey everybody, this is Miss Henderson. I am a high school culinary teacher at Van Horn High School in Independence, Missouri, and we are having a lot of fun with this virtual learning experience. And so what I wanted to do today was to demonstrate one of the recipes that I would love to be in the kitchens with my students, making with them, but unfortunately that's not how it is right now. So I thought that I would take some time and show you guys how to make fruit pizza. We are in a vegetable fruit unit if we were in our actual classroom. So guys, I hope that you are enjoying these lessons and you can show some of this creativity at home. I have already done part of the recipe. It does involve a tiny bit of baking. The recipe you guys will see online shows you part of it is a crust, and you're going to make that into like a cookie crust basically. I made my own sugar cookie crust. Pretty much you guys probably have these items on hand at home. It's got some flour, some sugar, some butter, some vanilla, and egg. And I think that that's pretty much it in terms, and salt. I think that's pretty much it in terms of the cookie crust itself, but what makes this recipe even easier is you can just buy cookie dough at the store in the tubes and create the crust yourself. So I have the crust cooling back here. It has to bake at 350 for about 10 minutes, and it should look something like this when you're done. It was really easy to make. Everything just goes in a mixer, mix it together, you have your dough, and then you shape your dough into a circle, and that creates your pizza crust. So we're going to let that continue to cool back here while we get the rest of our ingredients together. So what I wanted to show you was the topping that goes on the crust itself, and it's a cream cheese topping. Really, really yummy if you've never had fruit pizza. I love fruit pizza just because it's so pretty, and you can use any type of fruit you want to on top, any fruit that's in season. And so what I'm going to show you first is the whipped topping that's going to go directly onto our crust. And so what that is, it's a whole brick of cream cheese. And mixer. And then in with your cream cheese is going to go a half a cup of powdered sugar. Now my students know that I'm a big stickler on using the right measuring tool, so I have a dry measuring cup to measure our dry powdered sugar. Count that off. Powdered sugar can be so messy, so just be careful. It's going to go directly into our mixer with the cream cheese, and you're just going to bring that together. Does not take too long to cream that together, and what you've got is this really nice, smooth cream cheese frosting, basically, that's going to go on top of our cookie crust. It's going to be the glue that holds your fruit in place. Make sure to start your mixer off slow, because powdered sugar is kind of like flour. You start it off super high speed, and you're going to have a big mess on your hands. So go slow, increase the speed as you need to. Try not to make too big of a mess at home. Okay, so this is what that mixture looks like. Just like that. All right, and when you have that together, you're going to take whipped topping, any old type of whipped topping you want to, and you need a cup and a quarter of the whipped topping. There's my cup. And another quarter. and the recipe calls for you to fold your whipped topping into the cream cheese mixture that you just made. So guys, we've not done a ton of baking stuff in our class, but folding is a technique where you're literally taking the whipped topping and you are folding it into the cream cheese mixture. You don't just want to mix this together super fast. It will kind of deflate this mixture. You want it to become a homogeneous mixture, so everything should be well incorporated. We don't want to flatten out anything, so just folding the whipped topping into that cream cheese mixture so it all becomes happy in one. And this is going to be our delicious topping on our crust. All right, once everything is pretty much well incorporated, then you can kind of mix it together the rest of the way so that everything is well incorporated. And once again, this recipe is really easy because you probably already have this stuff on hand. And if not, you can find it just about anywhere. All right, so we have our mixture all nice and together. And what I'm going to do now is show you some of our knife cuts. In Culinary Essentials, we do a lot of work with knives, and my students know that I am a stickler when it comes to proper knife safety. We want to make sure that we're always being safe. So students, remember how we grasp our knife. Fingers like this, thumb on our knife like this. We are never holding our knife like this. I'll come by and kind of swat their fingers because this is not proper knife holding. We want to have our fingers and our claws all tucked away just to make sure that none of our phalanges get cut off. Okay, so I already have, I'm going to put my knife down, I already have some of our fruit cut up, and some of it doesn't need to be cut up. So for this, I've got some nice blueberries. They've already been washed and cleaned and ready to go. Some beautiful red raspberries. And then I did go ahead and cut up some strawberries. I'm going to cut up some more of those just to show you guys what those should look like. And then I've got some kiwi fruit. I love the kiwi fruit because it adds that nice pop of green to your fruit salad. So I've already washed, like I said, I've already washed all of our fruit, so it's good to go. We're going to start with the strawberries. Okay, we want to cut the tops off. We're not going to use the part with the stem. Okay, and we're just going to do nice round pieces. Guys, remember our knife never leaves the cutting board. We're rocking back and forth, okay, coming down. And we just want our strawberries about the same size, okay? So those are gonna look really, really pretty on our fruit pizza. I go ahead and cut up a few more. Okay, all my digits are in. Knife never leaves the cutting board. I hope you guys are remembering those proper knife techniques because safety is number one. All right, the next cut I want to show you guys is our kiwi fruit. We have not used these in class. I don't know if my students have ever even used a kiwi before in any meal that they've made. So kiwi is fuzzy on the outside. We do not eat the skin, okay, so we want to peel that off. So how I do this is I cut off the skin on both sides just because there's a pretty hard core at the bottom and the top of your kiwi. So cut those off. It's just a little easier for the knife to slide around. We want to use our paring knife to get our skin off of our kiwi. So what you're going to do, it takes a tiny bit of practice, a little bit of finesse to do this, but you're going to come down the kiwi just like that, and it peels your skin right off. So you just want to do that all the way around. You're using your thumb to support the sliding down of your knife and just get as little of the fruit off as you can. You just really want to grab that skin off of there. Be careful, kiwi are very slick, so you want to just make sure that you know where your fingers are at all times, okay? All right, so we have our skin off. Our kiwi is nice and clean and ready to just cut into rounds, just like we did our strawberry. So we're just gonna make nice, and that's the thing about kiwi, it's already round, so you don't gotta do a lot of work. You just gotta make your cuts similar in size. And there we have it, it's our kiwi. So I encourage you guys to put kiwi on your fruit pizza. Not only do they add a lot of pretty color, but they also add a lot of great pop and pizzazz to your fruit pizza, okay? All right, so we have all of our fruit ready to go. We have our whipped cream cheese topping that's ready to kind of act as our pizza sauce on our crust. I'm gonna give the crust another 5 minutes or so to cool. You wanna make sure to not put your topping on until your crust is completely cooled down, because then your topping is gonna slide right off. Okay, so we wanna make sure that that's nice and cool. So I will be back in just a second. All right, guys, we are back. The cookie crust has been nice and cooled, so it's ready for our pizza sauce to be spread on top. Once again, guys, if you don't have the ingredients to make the actual cookie crust at home, buy store-bought sugar cookie dough. Makes it super, super easy. You can really impress people, make them think that you have just baked them up this fabulous treat. Really, this is just very appealing to the eye, so I can't wait to get this all complete, get our fruit arranged on it, and just really show you guys how special these can be, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and spread out our delicious cream cheese and powdered sugar Cool Whip topping. And like I said, this really just obviously adds a ton of great flavor, a lot of sweetness, but also acts as our glue for our fruit to then be placed on. So you just want to do a thin layer of this, take it out just like you would on a normal pizza you're putting sauce on, okay? You're just going to take this out, kind of create a perimeter around it. So we're not going to go all the way to the edge, but we're going to go pretty close. This recipe really does give you a lot of this cream cheese topping to put on, so we don't want our layer to be too thick. That's a lot for one person to bite into, so we do want to create a very thin layer, but still give your pizza the appearance of a crust. All right, stuff is super easy to work with. Make sure, I did kind of forget to say this, make sure that when you are making this recipe for the cream cheese frosting, that your cream cheese is at room temperature. This is gonna be a lot harder to spread and make into a, an easy mixture to work with if your cream cheese is not at room temperature, okay? So you're making this, let's say for dessert at night, you wanna take that cream cheese out of the fridge in the morning, mid-afternoon, set it on your counter, let that warm up before you make this cream cheese frosting, okay? All right, so our mixture is nice and spread out. We've got it looking really appealing to the eye, and it is ready for our fruit. So excited for this. All right, so once again, we've got blueberries, raspberries, strawberry, and kiwi. Now you can decide however you want this to look, whatever pattern you want to use. Totally up to you. So there's a lot of creativity in this as well. And once again, if you don't have this type of fruit, use whatever you have. You could use peaches, you could use mango, you could use some plums. Those would be really pretty. I just found fruit that was available to me at the store and is in season. So go crazy with the fruit. I would be careful of using, I think the only fruit I would be careful of is probably some bananas, just because they do get brown when they are exposed to air, okay? So we want to make sure that we're not exposing our bananas to air too much, so I would maybe stay away from using a banana, but other than that, really any fruit is acceptable, okay? All right, I'm gonna try to visualize this, kind of see what kind of pattern I wanna use. I think I wanna start with our strawberries, and I think I'm going to just go around the perimeter of our pizza with the strawberries. Really, this is your chance to impress people. So if you've got like mad knife cut skills and you want to show off some crazy shapes with your strawberries or with your peaches, whatever it is, really use this chance to be creative. And I promise it will impress. Okay, so we've got a layer of strawberries. It's funny, they kind of look like pepperonis, so definitely sticking with the pizza theme. Kind of press them into your frosting, make sure that they stick. I think I want to go with a layer of my blueberries next. So in between each of my strawberries, I'm going to do pretty blueberry. And this is so fun for summer because you could definitely make this into like an American flag theme. Okay, you're doing something for the holidays, kind of stick with whatever the theme or the time of year is. And it's always sure to please people. All right, so we have some blueberries there. I think I'm gonna alternate now with my gorgeous green kiwi. Do those in between our blueberries. I really hope that you guys do this at home, and I cannot wait to see what you come up with. Really, I just miss all of you, so I would just love to see your faces. All right, so we've got a layer of kiwi now, and then I've got these beautiful raspberries. So I think I'm gonna do these a little closer together. I love that pop of color between the green and the red. I just think it's so pretty, and then you add that little bit of blue in there from the blueberry. All right, have our raspberries there. And I think I'll I'm gonna put some more blueberries in here. Just feeling like it needs that deeper color. It's really fun to get to be creative. And cooking is an outlet for me, so. All right, and I think to finish off, I will add a few more strawberries on the inside here. You can kind of prop them up too, they don't have to lay flat. Got some strawberries and end it with, let's do one of our smaller kiwis. Just like that. Makes almost like a pretty little flower on the inside. All right guys, so here it is. For pizza. Oh, so excited. And it's kind of healthier-ish. My students know that I don't eat a lot of sweets or breads or even fruit for that matter, just because, you know, it's how I just choose to live, but I'm sure that my parents are going to love this. So you cut it up just like you would a pizza, make your slices for everybody, and I know that it's just gonna make people so excited to eat your food. So I really hope that my students at Van Horn can show this to me, pull this off, send me your pictures, send me your videos. I hope you guys are still cooking away. I miss each of you dearly, and I would so much rather be in our kitchens at school making this with you than at home. But that's just not our reality right now, and that's okay. But don't stop cooking. Show me your skills, and hopefully we will be back in the classroom soon.